Alright, what's up everybody and welcome back. We have got a replay sent in by none other than Smooth Brain Steven. That's right, one of the very first players to get picked up and added to our Smooth Brain player list. But he actually took a break from the game, and so we haven't had a chance to cast many of his replays. But I've told you guys that Steven, one of the few people who made it through the auditions to become a Smooth Brain player, he's so creative, is so weird. He played with such lag from I think it was somewhere out in the middle of nowhere in Victoria in Australia. Had terrible internet, 400 plus ping for years playing this game. And he developed his own creative playstyle. He just does his own weird things. And I cannot wait to see what he sent in for us. It's so cool that he's back on the ladder. He's playing Age of Empires 2 and a few other games over the last year. And he's back. So he's going to be starting off with a hatch here. He's up against Vagabond. Pulls some SCVs down. And Vagabond, interestingly, going for the low ground barracks here. And it looks like he's going to go for a second barracks as well. So a 2 barracks wall off on the low ground up against the hatchery block. This kind of backfires for Steven because it looks like he wanted to block a command center. And who knows, maybe Vagabond would have gone for the command center. Maybe this is a reaction to the hatchery going down. Either way, Steven is going to start off with a bit of a disruption to his opponent. He goes for the spawning pool behind that. And we're going to see how he brings it out. I'll tell you guys, there have been times where Steven's been as low back in the day as 4,500 MMR. I think even these days, even being rusty, he'd still be closer to 5k, probably something like that MMR. So kind of low GM level. But when you play against him, it feels like everything he does is ridiculous and not optimal, but it throws you off your game because he just puts you in so many situations you're not used to. I say this as someone who's, because we're both in Australia, it matches us up a lot. Even when I have way higher MMR than him, it says, hey, you guys both have almost 0 ping to the Australian server. Oh, we'll match you guys. This will be a good match, right? And then every time I play him, there's always a point where I'm like, okay, I'm way ahead. Okay, I'm even further ahead. Okay, my brain's kind of breaking and I'm starting to misplay because I'm so unfamiliar with the situation that I'm in. I'm like, this is so confusing, man. What is going on? Okay, cancels the hatchery, goes for the Evo chamber block. But Vagabond is like, dude, I'm actually going 3 racks Reaper. Oh my lord. So Vagabond's like, screw it. You're wasting money on this. I'm just going to go across the map. And Steven, he does, okay, very wisely builds a spine crawler. That's incredibly smart. Now, the Evo chamber's not bad. It'll eventually bleed out because it's off creeping. Oh, he does decide to cancel it. And he says, yeah, let's get a scout off. So he knows it's 3 racks Reaper. That's really important. He's going to need to build some defense right now. Does he have a queen out? Okay, he does have a queen out. Don't want to lose the drone. Oh, okay, the Lings and the queen will push back Vagabond's first Reaper, but these Reapers still could cause some trouble. There is a ledge in the back that's quite far away. Steven dropping an inject, that spine coming up, another queen on the way as well. But the Reapers will be massing up very quickly. A third one is here. The drone in the main is actually going for an SCV. Can he get it? Can he get it? Oh my god, he actually managed to get an SCV. And he pulls the Reapers home, which actually buys him a little bit of time. This is really important for Steven. He's now got time to get the spine crawler up. He's got the roach horn there as well. If he could get the creep out further, it would be really nice to get the spine crawler there so he kills the Reapers as they jump in. But as it is right now, he's just kind of zoning out this bottom area. I think the Reapers could barely slip by the bottom without getting hit. And here we go. Overlord does spot it. You can see Steven's vision pretty well set up right now. He's going for Burrow and a roach horn. Okay, and he's going to go the Evo chamber to block that. Very aware of the fact that these Reapers could be a big nuisance. Another creep tumor at the front as well. The Reapers are going to thread the needle and get in around that spine crawler, but Queen's coming in from both sides for the punish, and they do manage to take out one of those Reapers. Another Reaper goes down, taking a big hit from that spine crawler. Bit of a hentacle there, and look at that. Only 1 drone lost. It's the harassment drone for 2 Reapers. There is a command center on the way, and the work account's still very even. It's only a 2-base Zerg, so I wouldn't say the situation massively favors Steven or anything like that, because you really need lots more drones and to saturate this base to get ahead here. But the Reapers still have damage potential. There's no transfuse, but yeah, Queen's on a ramp, man. They'll kill that first Reaper so quickly. That's what I'm talking about. Loses another Reaper there. And another Reaper. Oh no, Vagabond really messing up here. Of course, is afraid of going through the slow zone. Doesn't know what could be waiting for him. Probably thinks, oh, the spine crawler will hit me. He's going to test it now, but that's a very dangerous move. This is so dangerous. And with the Lings right on top of you, you might lose some Reapers here as well. You got to be really cautious. Does just jump up into the headbutt, but loses another Reaper there. Steven not caring about those Zerglings at all. Meanwhile, roaches are popping. Oh, okay, so he's actually going to go for a roach pressure against a guy who played 3 racks. Now, obviously, Reapers in large numbers can just deal with roaches, but he swapped into the reactor in the tech lab. Looks like the Overlord has seen that. So he knows he's swapping into marine production. I think he can assume there's a command center. And the Reapers, they don't see the roaches move out. So he manages to thread the needle in that regard, Steven is going to go triple gas here. His work account does kind of suck nuts right now. Oh, the Overlord. It didn't get in the middle of the pillar. Bit of a mistake for him. And, oh, maybe the Marine on the high ground was spotting it, actually. But one of the Marines is caught on the outside. Steven's running in. Oh, he could get on the depot. He could move in. Oh, he kind of misclicked there. Actually, I think he can move around the top of those barracks anyway. I think that's an opening. And, okay, is he going to be able to? No. Okay, moving in, moving out. Nice Burrow micro on the weak Roach. He gets one of these Reapers. Ah, doesn't quite get the next one. And he's going to be trying to move on in, take down the depot. SCVs are pulled. There's plenty of Marines, though, so I don't know if he can get that much damage. He's just got to try and distract. He is droning behind it and taking a third base. So he could, if he can get some damage, turn this to an economic advantage. Takes out the Roach, the Marines. Oh, he's Burrow micro. He still hasn't lost a single Roach. The Burrow micro is actually incredible. Remember, Roaches have enhanced regeneration, guys, as a natural thing that they just have. One Roach finally goes down. There we go on that depot. But man, the Burrow micro, he's killed so many Marines with these Roaches. The unit's loss tab is wild right now. I think with a scan, he should be able to clear these last Roaches. Okay, they are going to try and unburrow, grab 1 or 2 last kills. They finally go down. That was a lot of lost mighty time. Insane efficiency on the units. Killed 15 Marines. And a couple of Reapers and a couple of SCVs and forced a turret and a scan out. Well, that's pretty sick. Steven's economy, not that great behind it. I can't imagine he's been injecting very well. Looks like his main hasn't been injected in about a minute and a half. But despite that, he's got a 2-worker lead, still not fully saturated. He is going double Evo chamber here. Of course, he's forgotten about this Evo that he built in the main to block. I do that all the time. You build an Evo as a blocking structure, and then you forget that you've actually got it to build upgrades off as well. Vagabond, I would say, is ahead. Simply because you've got Stim, you've got +1 attack, you've got a big ball of Marines, and the fact that you're up on workers versus Zerg, like, Steven, if he could saturate this mineral line really quickly, maybe he could get back in this, but I think his lava management is his big weakness in this game. Like, he needs to be injecting these bases and just flooding out another 10, 15 workers. Interesting, he's going melee right now. So normally against Terran, Carapace is super important for stopping the Marines from killing your stuff too early, especially if you're going mass Roaches. He's going melee, so just, you know, this speaks to Steven mindset. It's like all aggression and damage output and YOLO, very little, I'm going to just get ahead and macro. He's like, no, I want to F with my opponent. I want to kill their stuff. I want to do as much damage as possible. Vagabond's only weakness here really is the lack of a third command center. So this means, like I said, if Steven can drone the third, he could scale up to like 60 workers versus 45, 3 base versus 2 base. That's where Steven can start to separate in terms of numbers. But he sees a big army, and these Roaches wisely going to pull back for now. He's got some good creep spread going out, does Steven, and we'll see what he's got in store for us. Of course, right now he's just kind of getting established. It's hard to pull off any tricky maneuvers when your opponent's just massing bio on 2 base like this, and he's even going 5 barracks, which means that he's going to be going all in on 2 base. I mean, he could eventually grab a third, but this is incredibly committed on 2 base. And the Roaches not having Carapace is actually really going to hurt him the longer this goes. Oh, burrowed Zerglings. I love it. Okay, so he's blocking all of the bases. Look at that. He's queued that to move there and burrow. And he's even got a little pervert Zergling, so he can see if the army moves out over there. And indeed it will. Infestation pits on the way and 7 more drones right as the army's coming. Uh-oh. Time to go back to combat units, mate. He needs to go back to Roach Ravages. He's only got 8 Roaches, 6 Ravagers versus 30 Marines, 5 Marauders, 2 Medevacs. This army could kick his ass. Combat Shield still 20 seconds out. +1 armor is on the way. And we've got another Tech Lab and a reactor to get that 5-rack set up. Vagabond coming forward right now. And he's going to push forward. I mean, Steven's got that worker advantage, but he's only just built it. It hasn't had time to work. He's going to have to use the Queen Transfuse, the Biles to try and hold this army back. Oh, good move forward for him. Does get 1 or 2 Marines. Vagabond being cautious about stimming here. Combat Shields is now ready. I think Vagabond might be confident to just stim it on top. It's a much better Terran army than a Zerg army right now. The Queens are moving into the main, expecting a drop up there is Steven, but Steven's got to be really cautious. Okay, run away. That's a stimmed army. I don't know if you want to fight this, Steven. Oh no, Steven, he's trying to do Burrow micro, but dude, there's already a scan on top of you. Burrow does not, that micro doesn't really work. In that scenario, there's no scans left though, so maybe he could use Burrow to try and buy some time. The creep, the defensive use of the Roach Ravager definitely can work some magic. And there we go. The drop in the main happens now, just as Steven pulls back to the front. Uh-oh, this could do some big damage. These guys are going to just A-move Stim to try and distract. These guys are playing distraction. He's like, come and fight me, come and fight me. Steven getting very distracted. The Spine Crawl and the Roach is going down. Vagabond finding some big damage. Oh, but nice Burrow. And remember, he doesn't have any scans available. Very good Burrow usage. Otherwise, he would have lost at least 10 more workers there. The queens are coming in. The bio should be able to beat those queens, but Vagabond is running away. He's not making up his mind. Okay, he's going to go for the upgrade. I think he could have beat those queens with that much bio. He ends up, as you see, even just a few Marines and Marauders do pretty decent damage, but the +1 queens do clean it up with the transfuse. The unburrow comes, the drones go back to mining. There's an overlord even pooping creep there, making sure there is no option for a third. Steven sees another giant army coming his way. He's going for hive. He's going for +2 melee for God knows why. I don't know why he would go for that. It looks like he canceled the +2 range, by the way, guys. For those who don't know, you do not need to cancel upgrades. A lot of people do this because in Brood War, apparently you would lose the money if a structure dies with an upgrade that's not complete on it. You get it back in StarCraft 2, you always have, but a common misconception is that you don't, and people always canceling those upgrades when it's in trouble, backfiring for Steven. But Bile on the lib, he's got to get rid of these libs. The tank push is so frightening right now. Okay, oh my lord, the queens, the roaches, the ravagers pushing forward, the liberator's there, the bile spreading across this army, but dude, every time he runs in and out, his army's taking so much tank fire, his roaches are all in the deep red, the bio is very weak, but these tanks and libs are killing it. He's got to heal up his units. I think there we go, nice moves. He's trying to pull back, he's got to burrow these roaches, man. He's got to try and burrow them and heal them up. If he can burrow them for maybe a minute, they'll do it. You can see that 35 hit points, 40 hit points, 50 hit points. It's very quick. Oh, nice move on the Ravagers. He gets a tank, but he loses a few Ravagers there. 2 Ravagers went down, a third one almost falling. The Liberator's very scary. He doesn't have a lot of anti-air here. He's got only 1 queen left. All of his queens have gone down, and every time he gets baited into these siege units, the way Vagabond's abusing this position is so good. That tank in the back as well. Nice burrow on some of those roaches, and he comes in with a bit of an arc, gets rid of at least one of these Liberators. Can he get rid of the other 2, though? Those Liberators aren't really facing the Ravagers. Vagabond's tank looking very exposed, but Steven, he's got to get rid of it. He finally does. Okay, he does some nice biles, gets rid of 1 more Liberator. Good burrow, though, for Steven. Remember, this is a 2-base all-in. Steven's still mining off 3 bases, but for how long? It looks like he's been broken. Oh my god, he unburrows, biles the medevac and the lib, and then burrows again. Vagabond right now is like, god damn it. Can I please get more scans? But on only 2 base, very limited detection. Gets the 50 energy, should get rid of these Ravagers now. It's been so frustrating though for Vagabond. The burrow is just buying valuable seconds, and this lets Steven get a few more roaches out. They're going to take out a few of these Marauders. The lib's coming in. That's going to cause him trouble though. The roaches running forward, trying to get rid of the tank. Oh my god, that tank will not go down. The roaches are getting savaged. The lib picking off drones on that base. The queens do take out 1 lib, but there's another lib up there as well. And Vagabond is just all over him. I think the rally's broken him, and it looks like Steven's dead. Steven fighting so hard to hang on, but he's going to have to transfer to the gold base. His roaches are trying to mid-combat burrow to survive for a few seconds longer. But it is desperation town. Even Egg's getting killed by this Liberator. There's nothing there to shoot up right now. Maybe he can run up and then morph Ravagers and then bile it down. That's probably his best bet. Vagabond a little cautious to move his siege units, and indeed Ravagers are morphing. The drones see the Liberator move, so they just transfer back to the 3rd base. More roaches are getting taken out though. Marauders and Marines coming forward. Nice biles to take out the Liberator, but oh my god, he does scan there. He's quickly burrow, unburrow. The roaches coming down the front are going to try and take out a tank. There's a lib in the main apparently during all that. The queen does take it out. I'm not sure how many drones went down. There's so few drones left. He runs in the mineral line. Another burrow does save a handful of workers. Vagabond must be out of scans at this point, but I mean, he's already done so much damage. There's no mining on the gold, no mining on that 3rd right now. Roaches only coming out a few at a time. He's trying to float his 3rd out, but the Zerglings are blocking it, which is super huge right now because Vagabond's out of mining in the main. His natural's only got a few mineral patches, so his income is also drying up a little bit. A tank's going to go drop behind the gold base to make sure that is not mining. I think Vagabond could shove in, but actually maybe not. There's a lot of roaches gathering up on top of that ramp. For some reason, he's going ling speed and +3 range attack right now. The brain of a Smooth Brain. I can't fathom, guys. I don't know why you would be upgrading +3 attack and ling speed right now when clearly you just need units to survive. He's also getting a Dropper Lord for God knows why. The roach is going to try and unburrow. He's going to try and save the hatchery. The hatchery's still got 200 hit points, but Vagabond with good focus fire does take it down, picks up, gets out of there, at least pulls back to it to gather the forces. Okay. This is, yep, that's a very Steven response. More for Dropper Lord, drop a queen on the tank, because this is a totally standard game in strategy in StarCraft. Steven, just doing Steven things. Mass Ravager has been made down here. The bio still gathering. Looks like, oh, he did manage to scan and get rid of it. Another Ling does burrow nearby. A few Ravagers have gone down. Vagabond might eat some big biles, though. 1 or 2 of them do land. Some of the, oh no, he's accidentally unburrowed half of his Ravagers. Tank goes down. Good scan for Vagabond. I'm gonna need more biles to hold this ramp, mate. That's a lot of stim bio. The biles, oh, Vagabond does pull back, dodges all of them. He can't really chase into the biles. More roaches coming in from the north. This could be be a successful defense for Steven. If Steven can hold this army, then he's back in this game. Vagabond kiting pretty well. He's still got a lot of Marauders in there. And remember, Vagabond now has a third base up there, or a base mining. So Vagabond's got a base mining. He's going to try and take this base to the top. Another burrowed Zergling says, you can't burrow here, you can't land here, and does even reposition it to be twice as annoying. Vagabond, of course, does have only a scan available on this command center. He's going to try and land this one to try to scan it. The Marauder's like, leave! That one little Zergling, such a slowdown in Vagabond's income. Question is, what can Steven do with it? He's got a gold base mining. He's got a little bit of gas mining in his main and his natural. He's got a Spire up. I don't know when that happened. He's going to have +3 attack on his Roaches. His Roaches and Ravages are so fragile versus the Bio, but it is only 1/1 Bio. And I mean, his Roach Ravager does pretty good damage here. Oh God, he's caught in the slow zone. Get out of there, Steven. Steven with a lovely Ling Run Bio on the north side, though. Very smart maneuver. These Lings do have +2 melee. They may not have Carapace upgrades, but they will tear through those SCVs pretty quickly. Gets quite a few kills, but does get overwhelmed. There's just way too many SCVs compared to the Zergling count. Nice Biles coming in. So zoning back Vagabond. Vagabond's still kind of struggling to push through this. More Zerglings on the way. So Steven wants to just defend with his Roach Ravager, bait out these stims, make him walk through corrosive Biles, and then just try and counterattack with Zerglings. It's a really smart way of doing it. If he can get his Lings on the economy, but his front line's getting broken. The Ravagers and the Queens are getting overwhelmed right now. Steven is getting pushed back, but Lings do find their way into the third base. Very nice moves for him. More Lings going across. Vagabond's economy is wide open right now. The Marines are going to deal with that one. That's a huge problem. But Steven, with the quick burrow, the Marines think they've dealt with it. They run off. Oh no, the Ravager's going down to the other side though. The burrow on burrow clears out that base. This base is going to get ransacked as well. Both players' economy is going to hell in a handbasket. There's even Zerglings here that tried to engage and ended up burrowing, but that gold base, that is where most of the mineral income comes from. That is going to go down right now. Oh, a great burrow. Do we have a scan though? Yes, we do this time, and that means all those drones going to go down. All the burrow's going to do is buy a scan. And look at this. All the SCVs have run down here. The Marine rally is getting torn up. Every single SCV is gone, guys. Tries to do a hot pickup here. Does Vagabond a little bit of miss micro. Broodlings maybe killed, I think, one Marauder there. Command centers are starting to burn down. And right now, Vagabond still has a big Marine army, though. If he can join all this together, what does Steven have to answer that? He starts +3 melee and adrenal glands? How is that the priority right now? Your Zerglings are going to melt. They're not going to land a single hit in the fight. They have no armor upgrades. Steven, what are you doing? He's going for a surround on this army. Oh, no. Oh, my God. If he got the Biles, it would have been huge. But he throws away all of his Zerglings. He needed to keep those alive. It's a backstab force. He's in so much trouble. What's he got? A few Queens, one Infester. Dude, he could be spending this money on more Infestors and Roaches right now to defend this army, but he's making melee upgrades. No, Steven! Oh, no! He was doing so well with Burrow. Wait! Oh, it's a big fungal, but doesn't hit the bio as well as I would have liked as Infester. Oh, no. And that's all of his units. He's just dead now. He's dead. Even though the Terran has no mining right now, it doesn't really matter because he doesn't have any units. He's got these 10 Zerglings. He's got those Zerglings burrowed and some on the map. So he's going to go and hit the economy again. And luckily for him, he's going to lose this Evo chamber and get some of that money refunded. That's 200 back in the bank that he can spend. He's got a few Queens, an Infester that almost has a fungal, and some Ravagers. I mean, that's just so much bio, though. Like, I don't... No! Oh my God, he gets an Omega Fungal and he's landing. The Queens are focus firing the Medivacs. If he can get rid of all the Medivacs, there's no healing. Transfuse is going down. He's got to get rid of the Medivac, so he gets rid. There's only one Medivac left. There's only one Medivac left. Oh, the Burrow. Very sick moves. The scan, though, will take out the Queens, and one Medivac still alive. This last Queen, if it shoots that Medivac, would be big. If it can shoot the Medivac, that'd be big. He gets it. He gets it. And the Bio is stimmed down. They're all going to die from like one hit. The Infester is somehow still alive. The Lings in the meantime did kill a command center behind this. The Infester does go down, but he's got enough money to build 5 Roaches. Remember, guys. Oh, he actually cancels them. He cancels them and builds a drone. Oh, 5 drones? Really? That's interesting. Because his Lings can overwhelm the +2 adrenal Zerglings. Kill the last little section of bio. Vagabond has not been mining at all because the Zerglings were denying it. I cannot believe it. Steven, what the hell, mate? He's like, hey, I've got mining now. I've got 5 drones mining minerals on this hatchery. Vagabond's like, well, I have 1 orbital. Let's wait for 50 energy. Drop a mule and then use it to rebuild units. But There's already 7 drones up, and Steven's building even more of them as well. So Steven, I think, is just a little bit too far ahead on the economy. That mule is going to drop right here. I mean, this is Vagabond's just like, please, mule, 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 drop the mule, drop the mule, drop the mule. Come on. Okay, so he drops the mule. He's going to mine a little bit of minerals out, but here we go. The Zerglings are going to come. There's no army out. That's going to take 2 trips just to build a single marine, which means he can't repair the wall. Vagabond saying supply. I know I'm dead. GG. Down to 0 workers versus 0 workers. That was sick. Thank you very much, Steven. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. If you guys are enjoying some of our other cheesy games, don't forget to click on some of the other videos up here on the screen. And a big thanks to all of our Patreon supporters. A big special thanks to the Dicktown Express conductors, Colonel SE, Jacob G, and Modern Totem. We'll see you in the next video, everybody. Goodbye and good night.